This is the best way to break a narcissist's heart, so they lose. To maintain control over you, narcissists seek to induce a sense of helplessness and dependency. They derive satisfaction from your perceived vulnerability, wanting you to endure as much suffering as possible before they depart. This reinforces their illusion of complete control. However, it shatters their expectations when you rise resiliently, like the mythical phoenix, revealing a strength they never anticipated. You have the power to shift your perspective and demonstrate resilience against the negative emotions they impose upon you. Thank you for watching this video. I will now outline 5 strategies to expose a narcissist publicly and reveal their true nature. If you're interested in delving deeper into this topic, consider subscribing by clicking the bell icon. Let's begin. Start by reframing your self-perception. Narcissists derive pleasure from undermining your self-worth, using phrases like "you're too fat," "you're too thin," "you're too open," or "you're too closed." They aim to convince you that you're unlovable as you are and foster self-doubt to keep you trapped in submission. It's a manipulative trap designed to control and conform your beliefs to theirs. The next logical step is to embrace yourself exactly as you are right now, above all else. Embrace your inner strength and talents. Start by showing kindness and empathy towards yourself. If you wish to safeguard your emotional autonomy, trust your instincts and honor your unique identity. Free yourself from negative influences that cloud your thoughts. The true path to self-worth lies in discovering it independently, rather than relying on external validation. Aligning your inner and outer selves is pivotal for achieving personal fulfillment. To fill any void in your life, step into that role with self-assurance. Before seeking approval from others, prioritize your own self-approval. Cultivate unwavering confidence in your abilities. To avoid being defined by others, first understand and embrace your authentic self. Place your foot on the brakes. If a narcissist claims to love you, they will go to great lengths to keep you around. They may use both positive and negative tactics to manipulate your feelings about yourself, prompting you to seek their approval. The fear of abandonment drives you to avoid being left alone, triggering deep-seated wounds that require healing. It's crucial to adjust people-pleasing tendencies to avoid being manipulated or harmed by others. Constantly proving your worth becomes essential. The key advice is to strengthen your resolve, assert your individuality, and resist pressures to conform. Allowing their insults and judgments to affect you only empowers them. Remember, when a narcissist criticizes others, they are often revealing their own insecurities. Their fixation on you reflects what they aspire to be or possess themselves. No matter how hard they try, these traits cannot be erased. However, there's no need to attempt erasure. Even if people try to overlook them, the truth persists. They simply can't disregard them and will eventually need to confront them. In coping with their own issues, they may seek to inflict harm upon you. They mirror every trait and quality that you possess. Train yourself to ignore negative comments and avoid anything that could undermine you. Cultivating self-worth is crucial. When you're self-aware and confident, no one can diminish you by pointing out flaws. Confront your fears head-on and forge a strong sense of self and purpose in life. No. 3. Resist their attempts no matter how strong they are. Constantly, narcissists require both positive and negative feedback from others in order to function. When someone can make you feel angry, sad, or sorry, they believe they have influence over you. Whether you respond positively or negatively, the outcome will remain unchanged. And it makes no difference whether you are angry, sad, sorry, joyful, paying attention, buying them gifts, taking them out, doing this, that, or anything else. As long as you take action, they will prevail, so you must pay heed to them. It is crucial to keep your emotions in check when conversing with narcissists, because their actions depend on how you react. As long as they can see that their actions harm you, they will continue to torture and abuse you. The best method to drive them insane is to act emotionless and indifferent to what they do. To get there, you must learn to consciously control your emotions. To learn how to manage your emotions and resist your impulses, you must exert effort. When negotiating with a narcissist, you will have the upper hand if you are able to recognize and express your emotions. Long term, the narcissist would be incapable of evoking any emotion in you. Attempt to see the world as it is. It is never your sin, nor is it your responsibility. Even if a narcissist attempts to convince you that their problems are your responsibility, you should not believe them. Nothing you say or do will ever be sufficient to make up for their wrongdoing. In other words, you are not responsible. At first glance, it may seem reasonable to believe, well, I should have seen it coming. I should have left earlier. I should have trusted my gut when they showed their dark side. When things are occurring, nothing is simple. When it is overcast, it is difficult or impossible to see. You did not possess this level of knowledge about this topic previously. There is currently insufficient time and energy to give these ideas the consideration they merit. What's more essential is that you lack sufficient knowledge to distinguish between truth and falsehood at this time. Since you now have the means to achieve these objectives, you can make these assertions. Even though you have already taken action, you now assert that you should have taken even greater action. When it occurs to you, however, you have no notion what is happening. Perhaps it's not in our nature to deceive, especially about the people we care about and the relationships we forged. As parents, for instance, we frequently want to avoid the pain of confronting the truth by clinging to the lie, the idealized version of this individual we have created. Overall, I believe you gave it your best effort. You did your best with the knowledge you had at the time. You are not required to be harsh on yourself immediately. This likely won't help, as they intentionally inflict mental harm on you by denigrating, lying to, and manipulating you to increase their own power. When you begin to suspect your innocence, you should always reassure yourself. To make this strategy effective, you must be kind to yourself. Their faults and difficulties were mirrored back to you. It all comes down to how others perceive you, so you become that person. You can maintain a positive attitude by telling yourself, I did everything I could to make our relationship great. Regardless of what people believe about me, I am not who or what they believe me to be, and their opinions do not affect how I behave. The fifth and final recommendation is to establish and adhere to defined rules. If you lack strong boundaries, it is simple for the narcissist to convince you to give in to all of their demands. They require someone who will not give up when told no. Their best friend is someone who enjoys taking things leisurely. For a narcissist, allowing others to make all of their own decisions is a means to demonstrate their leadership. You are in this situation if you must maintain frequent contact with the other person due to co-parenting, a legal matter, or another circumstance. Rules must be followed consistently at all times. Be cautious if you give the narcissist leeway in how they interpret the situation, as they may slip through this gap. Perhaps the situation is not as bleak as I fear, and I can still use this individual to my advantage. This is a thought narcissists may have. There is no middle ground available. Either you can do everything or nothing. There are occasions when narcissists could appear at any moment. The reality is that you must say no. I apologize, but you cannot do that. This indicates that this is the final section. Please depart immediately. That is strictly forbidden in my home. I do not want you to do that or visit me immediately. To be effective, you must maintain the highest standards for your beliefs. In fact, they can only comprehend that language. They will exert every effort to gain control over what they want from you. Narcissists may try to influence your personal life, including how you spend your free time and interact with your children. It's crucial to establish boundaries and assert your needs whenever possible. When setting these boundaries, proceed with caution. Furthermore, careful planning is essential. It's your responsibility to ensure that anyone who violates co-parenting agreements faces consequences. Utilizing a third party, such as the court, can help enforce these boundaries effectively. Once boundaries are set, communicate confidently and assertively about the repercussions of crossing them, ensuring they understand and respect your limits. That's all for now. I hope you can leverage this experience and the narcissist's tendencies to your advantage. We'll discuss more in the next video. Have a great day. Navigating life after leaving a relationship with a narcissist can indeed be incredibly challenging. The aftermath often involves grappling with a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, including hurt, confusion, and even self-doubt. It's natural to question the sincerity of the love you felt and the promises that were made, especially when faced with the abrupt departure of someone you deeply cared about. One of the most perplexing aspects of dealing with a narcissist is trying to understand their motivations and whether they are capable of feeling remorse for their actions. While it's tempting to hope that they might eventually come to recognize the pain they've caused and express genuine regret, the reality is often more complicated. Narcissistic individuals typically possess a profound sense of entitlement and a lack of empathy for others, which can make it difficult for them to acknowledge or take responsibility for their hurtful behavior. They may be skilled at manipulating situations to their advantage and shifting blame onto others, further complicating the process of healing and moving on. In many cases, the narcissist's focus remains primarily on their own needs and desires, leaving little room for genuine remorse or introspection. However, it's essential to remember that every individual is complex, and there may be rare instances where a narcissist experiences fleeting moments of regret or self-awareness. Ultimately, the most important aspect of healing from a relationship with a narcissist is prioritizing your own well-being and focusing on self-care. This may involve seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist, setting boundaries to protect yourself from further harm, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. While it's natural to seek closure and validation from the narcissist, it's essential to recognize that true healing comes from within and cannot be dependent on external validation. By cultivating self-love and resilience, you can emerge from the shadows of the past and embrace a brighter, more fulfilling future. Our brains like to take the easy way out after a hard day, don't they? As comforting as it is to say, "I love you," it's much harder to face the fact that their deeds don't quite match up. If the two don't match, you might feel lost and stuck in a cycle of emotions that you can't get off of. It's possible to wonder, do they even miss me? Since you cared about them so much, it makes sense to expect the same from them. Narcissists, on the other hand, care in a strange way, if you can even call it that. There are three main things on their minds when you decide to leave. To begin, they are obsessed with keeping their picture safe. They're more worried about how other people will see them after you leave. I thought, what will people think of me when my partner left me for a while? To keep up the image of being a loyal partner, which I clung to, I worked hard to make up a story that made me look like the victim. Fearing for my reputation, I thought, how will this affect my reputation? They might make things more dramatic before you leave to make you want to leave so they can avoid blame and save face. It's all about keeping up the image of a saint, even if their deeds don't match up. They'll worry about saving themselves after you're gone, not your feelings. Because of this, they may try to get you to fall for them again by any means possible, even if it means ignoring how much they hurt you. The hoovering strategy is one that narcissists like to use. Let's look at how it works. It's used for a few sneaky things. To begin, when they try to get you back, they only care about making themselves look like the good guy. "See, I tried," they'll say. "We fixed things. Don't you think that makes me look good?" This helps them believe their twisted story of events and keeps up the appearance of being a good partner. In order to keep up looks, they also use character assassination, which is a common form of smear campaigns. They'll tell lies to put themselves above you because they want to look better than you. To make themselves look better, they'll make you look like the bad guy by blaming you for everything. In the worst situations, they might even blame someone else to protect their own honor. It doesn't matter what they say. They'll say anything to make themselves look good by dragging your name through the mud. Once a relationship is over, the last thing a narcissist cares about is their image. What they do to get ahead, even if it hurts other people, is driven by their obsession with how other people see them. There's nothing else going on. Knowing this helps you understand how they act after a split. As I already said, a narcissist's main concern when you're not around is how they look to other people. What's next on their list, though? Cash. Third, it's all about having power. A narcissist loves being in charge. Getting lost is their worst fear. They take a big hit when you decide to leave because they're used to being in charge. They are very afraid of losing power over you because being in charge is a big part of who they are. How do I regain control? Is something they ask themselves all the time. They keep going over it in their heads because they can't stand the thought of not being in charge. They try to pull you back in after a breakup because they are afraid. They are trying very hard to get back the power they lost. They try to get you back into the relationship after it's over just to keep their hold on you. This is called hoovering. They'll do anything to keep control, even if it means lying to make it look like you stopped things instead of them. It's all part of their plan to keep power even after the relationship is over. Let's deal with narcissists in a real way. Their world is run by three things: their money, their image, and their need to be in charge. People who are narcissistic will do anything to protect these three people. If you want to get away from a narcissist, it's important to understand these basic things. It can change the game to know how scared they are of losing power, how much they care about how they look, and how desperately they want to keep their money. Of course, these things also play a big role in legal matters like divorce or child custody fights, which is why they act the way they do after you leave. One big truth about narcissists is that they only care about themselves. This is especially true when a relationship is ending. They aren't very good parents because they avoid doing what they need to do or give it to someone else. They might not even take care of their pets. It's clear where their interests lie if they don't care about how you feel or the state of the relationship. When you start to doubt yourself or wonder if you're crazy, remembering this can save you. But didn't they say they cared? You might ask. They said things would be different, right? They didn't do anything with those words. How they treat you and the other people around them every day shows what kind of person they are. Finally, all they care about is keeping their image clean, their money safe, and staying in charge, especially when you're out of their reach. The most important thing to remember is that you're not crazy. Things like the ups and downs of your feelings, the uncertainty, and the chaos are all normal and expected. Lots of other people have been through the same things and come out better. Don't be afraid to ask for help or get in touch with people who understand what you're going through. It can be hard to break up with a narcissist, but knowing what drives them, image, money, and control, can help you understand their actions and move on. You won't get through this alone. Give yourself time and help. To sum up, getting inside the head of a narcissist after a breakup can be like untangling a bunch of wires. It's hard and confusing, but you can face it head-on if you have the right knowledge and people to help you. Click the like button and share your thoughts or stories below if you thought today's chat was helpful. It can really help if you share this chat with people who might need it. Also, if you want more deep conversations like this, make sure you're subscribed and that alerts are turned on. We're excited to keep bringing you good stuff because of your help. Thank you very much. Please click on the link in the description to get a free book and the chance to talk to someone one-on-one. Thanks a lot for being on our team and always looking out for us. Don't forget that you're never on this road by yourself.
Simple words that always succeed in threatening the soul of a narcissist. Now that we understand the dangers of narcissistic behavior, it's crucial to think about how we can avoid it. One way to start is by taking a closer look at ourselves. Let's reflect on a simple question. How do you handle people who are different from you? Are you adaptable and able to think on your feet? Do you genuinely engage with others, seeking to understand their perspectives? Can you find common ground with anyone, even those who are different from you? Do you accept people as they are, flaws and all? If you answered positively to these questions, well done. These traits make navigating relationships much smoother and more harmonious. You'll remain resilient even when facing challenging differences, and that's the kind of attitude the world desperately needs. To help you further understand narcissists and avoid their manipulative tactics, I have a gift for you. A free course titled Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. You can find the link in the description box below. May I ask you a question? When you think of the narcissist in your life, do you picture someone who is open and understanding? Someone who seamlessly blends in and gets along with others? Neither do I. Narcissists often lose any semblance of teamwork and cooperation over the smallest disagreements. They act as if they are too self-absorbed to consider others' perspectives or make adjustments for your needs. Moreover, if you dare to disagree with them, they double down until you are exhausted. However, there are 3 words that narcissists absolutely cannot stand: let it go. For them, relinquishing their ego, sense of superiority, and control over others is terrifying. They must be in charge and have the final say. They believe they are far superior to everyone else and will never concede. But here's the truth, it's okay to let go. There's no shame in working together and prioritizing others' needs over your own. Dealing with narcissists is incredibly challenging. They can't let go. They may be too preoccupied with a million other things to take a step back and collaborate. They often believe that their own desires and needs are paramount, a belief that bolsters them regardless of the situation. Additionally, they cannot resist the urge to control everything around them. They behave as though they must always be attached to someone, maintaining a firm grip on every aspect. Their pride and conviction that they know best are deeply ingrained. Even when it's clear they are mistaken, their inflated egos won't allow them to let go. They seem to take pleasure in thinking they're superior, as if it boosts their confidence. Narcissists often only care about themselves and find it irritating when others express their own thoughts and opinions. They reject other viewpoints, ignore new ideas, and dismiss any evidence that contradicts their rigid worldview. They perceive these ideas as useless and brush them off. To them, a perfect relationship is one where the other person caters to their every whim, regardless of fairness. It's evident that narcissists can't handle depth, subtlety, or diverse perspectives. They cling to a narrow, black-and-white view of the world, where there are clear winners and losers. This relentless need to win at all costs makes you look like the bad guy. They are always trying to outdo you, even when it makes no sense. Moreover, they need a scapegoat whenever there is trouble or disagreement. They can't fathom being wrong or that their viewpoint might be flawed. To mask their insecurities, they create victims. If you differ from them in any way, they see you as a helpless victim who only complicates their life. Trying to overcome these persistent mental barriers feels like hitting a wall. But here's the thing, we don't have to agree with them. We can choose to think more logically and positively. Instead of forcing everyone to conform, we should celebrate our diverse thoughts and lives. We need to listen to each other and embrace new perspectives. Rather than assuming everyone is against us, we should remember that we're all just people trying to navigate this crazy world. When we do this, amazing things will be possible. We have the power to learn, to accept when we're wrong, and to work on becoming better people. We can still treat each other with respect even if we don't agree. We might be able to connect with each other more deeply if we stop focusing on being victims and blaming others. It's not easy to say let it go to an ego, so pay attention. People who are egotistical and only care about themselves are possibly people you've met. They are always wanting to be in charge, and they will do anything to stay in charge. That's not the only thing going on here. People who are narcissistic often feel very uneasy and are driven by fear. They can't control their feelings because they are mentally unstable and don't trust other people. They are deeply convinced that they are perfect and that anyone who disagrees with them is just trying to bring them down. So, questioning their power is like trying to make trouble. They will fight back with all the force they have, putting up walls and letting their inner chaos control them. The person is unwilling to give up their fake identity, no matter what, even if it means missing out on life-changing opportunities. What should I do now? Since they won't give in, how can we get them to move? Understand that it's not just about winning or losing or having the right or wrong view. This is about making a real, more equal relationship so that we can all learn and grow together. It must be shown that we can be trusted and that we have good motives. The narcissist might still not want to let go for a long time after that. We can now play the other side. We shouldn't beg narcissists to let it go, we should beg ourselves to do the same. These people are stuck in their crazy ideas and can't get out of them. They really think they are the adults who are responsible here. No matter how hard you try, they will not give in and your thinking or argumentation will not work. The point is that you don't have to play their game. You are not required to give in to their selfish requests. You can stay true to yourself and your ideals while also keeping your feet firmly on the ground. You're useful the way you are, so there's no need to look for approval or affirmation from other people. You are welcome to get help from a therapist if you think that will help you reach your goal. If you need suggestions, you can find them in the box that says what the video is about. Now you know that narcissists are not people you need to change or control. Let us wait patiently and work on getting better so that the right people can come into our lives at the right time. Last, just let it go. These egotists are so focused on themselves that they won't even think about letting go, even if it costs them or others. The truth is, though, that we don't have to follow their rules. We are free to live our lives without being manipulated or fooled by them. It is within our power to let go of anything that is hindering our health. We can decide to be steady, calm people who don't let their problems get the best of them. Plus, this will help us find peace without the chaos and stress of a selfish relationship, which is an added bonus. We can live our lives however we want. So, let go of what's stopping us and make up our minds to be our best selves, even if